The Man to Send Rain Clouds by Leslie Silko. This story started when Leon and Ken found his grandfather under a big cottonwood tree. His leather jacket and pants were faded like blue so that he had been easy to find. He had been dead for a day or more, and his sheep had scattered. The weather, it was rare. It was hot for that time of year, but high and northwest, the Blue Mountains were still in snow. Before they wrapped the halsman with a red blanket, Leon took a piece of string out of his pocket and tied a small gray feather in the halsman's long white hair and started to paint him. Across the brow he drew a streak of white, and along the cheekbones he drew a strip of blue paint. Then Leon painted with yellow under the halsman's broad nose, and finally, when he had painted green across the chin, he smiled and said, "Send us rain clouds, grandfather!" When they were heading home, they saw Father Paul's car coming toward them. They both stopped, and the young priest asked, "Did you find old Teofilo?" And Leon said, "Good morning, Father. We were just out to the sheep camp. Everything's okay now." "Thank God for that. Teofilo is a very old man. You really shouldn't allow him to stay at the sheep camp alone." "No, he won't do that anymore now." He told them that he waits for them at church on Sunday and said goodbye, smiling. On the other hand, Luis and Teresa were waiting for news from Teofilo. When Leon arrives, said, "We found him under a cottonwood tree in the big arroyo near sheep camp. I guess he sat down to rest in the shade and never got up again." After that, they started with the preparation for the funeral and also prepare the clothes for Teofilo. It was noontime, and while they were eating, no one said anything, until Ken said, "I'll say about the grape diggers. Only the top layer of soil is frozen. I think it can be ready before dark." After, the neighbors and clans people come quietly to embrace Teofilo's family and to leave food for the grave diggers. The funeral was over, so Lois told Leon to call priest to sprinkle her father with holy water so that he wouldn't be thirsty. When Leon arrived, the priest opened the door and smiled when he saw who it was. "Come on, what's bringing you here this evening?" "I came to ask you if you would bring your holy water to the graveyard." "Why didn't you tell me he was dead? I could have brought the last wreaths anyway." Leon smiled and said, "It wasn't necessary, Father. For a Christian burial, it was necessary." "It's okay, Father. We just want him to have plenty of water." The stunned father said, "You know I can't do that, Leon. There should have been the last rites and a funeral mass at the very least." Upon hearing that, Leon leaps. Then the father tells him to wait and goes with him. In the cemetery, the priest approached the grave slowly. He looked at the red blanket, not sure that Teofilo was so small, wondering if it wasn't some perverse Indian trick, something they did in March to ensure a good harvest. But there he was. The wind was blowing a lot. His fingers were stiff, and it took him a long time to twist the lids of the holy water. Drops of water fell on the red blanket and froze. He sprinkled the grave, and the water disappeared almost before it touched the cold sand. He shook the container until it was empty. Finally, the priest walked away slowly. Leon turned to look up at the high blue mountains in the deep snow. He felt good because it was finished. It was happy about the sprinkling of the holy water. Now the old man could send them big thunderclouds for sure.